its staff, management, or sponsors.
Would you love to deepen your spiritual connection and create a conscious shift in your life? Do you seek answers to the human experience? Well, welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. It's a 2-hour safe haven for your questions and Spirit's answers, and you can transform your life. Right now on WHFS in Tampa and WWNN in South Florida, Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium who can assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. For the next 2 hours, listen and call in toll-free, 888-565-1470, 888-565-1470, and watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and share love and light.
Shines on Oh, yes, indeed. There's a light right here on WHFS and on WWNN. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. And boy, have we got the conversation for you tonight. Because you got to have faith. You got to have faith. Yes, indeed, we need a little faith. I think we need a lot more than just faith. But we're going to talk about faith tonight, and we're kind of checking in on your faith. And what's the difference between faith and hope? Hope tells us that maybe it might happen. We hope it happens. Sometimes people tell me, well, I hope it happens. I said, well, we need no hope here. We need to know it's going to happen because hope leaves an area of doubt and possibility that it might not happen. So why are we going to hope? I hope it happens someday. A lot of things could happen someday, but what are you creating? What are you manifesting? What are you asking for? What are you praying for? What is it that is important to you on a daily basis? And what you need assistance with? Haven't you had something happen in your life that you really thought you couldn't handle? I'm sure many of us have. And at that moment, you felt like, oh, Jiminy Crickets, I need someone to help me. I don't know what I'm going to do. And so we pray and we ask that God brings someone to assist us, or that we get delivered by a miracle. We put it out into the universe, and we do everything we can to make something positive happen. And then there comes that point where you have to resign yourself and just go, oh, I just got to believe. I just got to have faith because I don't know how. And that's where the intervention of the universe steps in. So often when I sit across from people and we have conversations, and I say, oh, when I look into the year, I see this. And they go, well, how's that going to happen, Sarah? Ah, ye have little faith. I know what I see in the energy. Now it's up to you to accept it as a possibility and welcome it into your energetic force field, or just let it stay out there and wonder if maybe it's going to happen. If I see something that's something you would love to have happen, and you don't know how, and you're a mere mortal, a mere human, why not let God handle that? Why not let the how, the where, the when, all be up to the divine? And you become the orchestrator of holding the vision and having the faith. All you have to do is hold the vision. Hold the vision so that you can create what you want. And you can have it all. They say we need the faith of a mustard seed. That's all you need. Have you ever looked at a mustard seed? I have. It's the teeniest of little seeds, a perfectly round little circle seed. That's how much faith you need. So some of us have trouble mustering up the faith of a little mustard seed. But yet we have the ability to drum up the size of 1,000 watermelons worth of worry. But all we need is the faith of a mustard seed to get it done. We need to believe that it is possible. We need to see it as if it is already created. And we need to trust. You know, as humans, we have a trust problem. I know. You may say, well, from what I see about the circle of people I've engaged with, it's not easy to trust them. And that may be a truth for your experience. But we're not trusting, again, mere mortals with their conditions and their experiences and their emotions. We're trusting a divine force that has the ability to put together everything that is in this universe. That the more you look at, the more you observe what happens in the universe, the easier it is for you to understand that there's some very intricate workings going on. Let's take a look at an ant colony and what they do to survive and bring the food. You watch them march in single file on a journey to find food and return to their anthole with their food. They build a colonization and they gather and work together, and they are hard-working little insects. I heard this from someone that I follow. They went off on this tangent of insects, and for a moment I was like, oh, good Lord, I don't like bugs. But it was interesting. I never stopped to think how much ants do in order to guarantee their survival. And together as a team. And interestingly enough is when an ant is in a conflict and one creates a difficulty in their group, they all kind of turn on each other. That kind of sounds like a bunch of humans too. And then let's look at bees. They build their honeycomb and it actually looks like New York City apartments. And they too work together. And they have a teamwork. And we have to look at how do we work together to create. And the first force that we work with is the divine and the angels and your loved ones on the other side. Everyone is here on the other side to assist us. Everyone is here from the hierarchy of the angels and the divine to be of service to you. And all you need to do is to navigate life and make choices. And I recently, when talking to a client, was channeling a message from Spirit. And Spirit was saying how our life is a series of choices that lead to a series of experiences. And each experience holds valuable connections that allow us to expand our consciousness, to heal ourselves, to heal our soul, and to shift where we are and place ourselves in a different direction. Every experience is so unique and offers far more than what we see with our instant look, our first glance. We don't always see all the possibilities because usually when we are looking for an experience or an experience meets a criteria, we're looking at just one aspect. We're looking to have ourselves saved or rescued from something that is difficult. And so we ask for something and doors open. And we're so happy to be crossing through the door that we don't see all the benefits. Everyone comes in your life for a reason. Have you ever been in a position where you really needed help? And someone said, hey, it's okay, you can come stay with me. Or, we're having family dinner Sunday, would you like to come? Maybe you didn't really have enough for yourself. Or maybe you were feeling lonely and you needed assistance. You see, the universe, your guides, the angels, they will always place before you the people necessary to fulfill the miracle. And you have to have faith that this will happen. It's a sense of conviction. It's like you know, but you may not know how you know, but you know. That's a mouthful, I know. But you know. There's a sense of I am doing exactly the right thing, even though I don't know how it's going to turn out. I feel compelled. I have a sense of conviction. When making choices in life and you're making a choice based with faith, there has to be a layer of conviction that God has your back. The universe is always supporting you. The energy that fuels the entire universe is holding you up at all times. But sometimes we kind of are like wild cowboys and cowgirls riding out thinking, oh, I've got this, doing it on our own, not quite checking in with the divine and asking the question, is now the time? Is this the person? Is this the opportunity? I've been praying for this and look, God brought it to me. Are you sure that that's what God had for you? Or is it just because it looks like a duck and kind of quacks like a duck, so you're going to just say for sure it's a duck? For all you know, it's a costume. Don't people wear a facade? Haven't we seen the illusions in the world? Are we not in a time where we are trying to decipher between illusions and truth? And some of which are within our own individual self. Where's my truth? What illusions have I convinced myself are my truth when now I look back, it's not really who I am. It's not what I am about. And as you look at the energy and you see something coming for you, are you sure that that's what you prayed for? I had a lady say to me, well, can you tell me what the guy's going to look like or what his profession is? I said, okay, so let's paint this picture. I tell you, I see someone who has brown hair and brown eyes. They're about 6'1". Their profession is a lawyer. You go to Starbucks the next day. Someone who is about that height and about that look begins to talk to you. You ask them what they do. They say they're a lawyer, and suddenly you begin to say, this is the one that Sarah told me is coming. Because we give you too much information, and then you take the square peg and really try to shave the corners to fit it in the round hole. So we tell you it's coming. And it's for your choosing. It is not for us to influence what you choose. It is for you to choose the highest vibrational match that usually matches where you are at the moment. So most of the work is within self. And we have to look at ourselves and say, do I have faith? Am I aware of what it is I want? Do I really know who I am? And am I willing in faith to wait? The reason why we get ourselves in a hot mess, and there's quite a bit of hot messes going on, is because we don't want to wait. We want it now. Instant gratification. We're in a throwaway society with a lot of instant gratification. And now suddenly we can't get our instant gratification because we can't get what we want because it's stuck on a boat somewhere. And so now we're like, oh, I can't buy the car I want. Oh, I can't get this. This is not coming in. It'll take months to arrive. But I'm used to having it now. And so we've become so accustomed to pushing and forcing and making things happen that even in the tangible world, the physicality of it all, we don't like to wait. So when we pray and we ask the universe to support us, when we ask for that lifelong partner or that new job, or to be delivered from some financial affliction that perhaps we caused by choices, but there's still a way out. We want a raise, we want some unexpected money to come, something to change. And then God says, be still and know that I'm God. And that requires having faith. Being still is difficult for a human. Difficult from ants, from what I've seen. Especially the ones that ran up on my counter the other day. Little sugar ants, busy trying to find where there was a speck of leftover juice from the juice machine. But they were on a mission. And they had faith they were going to get there. They didn't know I was waiting with 409. But it's all a journey. And things will come in our way. They will block us. But no matter what happens, we have to have faith. And we have to trust. And we have to know, like we know, beyond a shadow of a doubt that we know that somehow it'll work out. Earlier today, just when I got on the radio station, we were talking about some things. And as we talked, there's an element of who knows? But we know everything will be fine. Because we know. Because when you are in the momentum of the universe always has your back, of the guides and angels are with you, as the point of you are never alone. And that even when you're in the darkest of moments and you can't see your way out and you have confusion, which is a human condition, that when you are still and you wait for the dust and the fog to clear, that something will come and you'll put one foot in front of that one. And then somewhere along the way, you'll turn a corner and there will be your answer. But it's that journey from the asking to the receiving that we mess up. Because sometimes the actuality, the realization of what we want takes time. Now, the better you become at having faith, the better you become at creating, orchestrating things the way you would like them to turn out and asking for assistance and not being afraid to ask for assistance, especially from the heavens. And then being in the state of stillness and waiting and holding the faith and not wavering, you will get where you want to go. You will receive what you want. Let's take this radio station, for example. Sends out a signal. and it's picked out from miles away. And depending on how strong the signal is and received at a certain location, determines how well you can hear us on the actual radio station. Sometimes you get that little static. So annoying. So you play with your dial and you try to fine tune it. And sometimes the signal just doesn't reach where you are. You drive a mile or two down the road and then, it's on perfectly clear. Thank goodness. We wouldn't want you to miss a minute of the show. But what if we use that radio signal and we compared it to your faith? You see, the radio signal doesn't waver. It is a projected distance of energy that's being sent out, and it's been tested, and we know how far it's going to reach. And at different times in the day, depending on interference and things around it, it will only reach so far. And at other times, it reaches even further. So whatever the technical things are behind it, but that's what I've gathered from conversations. So let's say that your faith is the radio station. It's the signal that you're sending out. And you really want something to happen. Do you think that your signal dropping in and out is going to make a direct connection and reach all the right channels and all the right people energetically to bring them to you to create what you want? Or do you think that if you're wavering, you're going to keep missing opportunities and people aren't going to hear you correctly and connect with you in the way that they could, or introduce you to someone who then is the someone who can help you get that new job? It's a signal. Now, the universe is always connected because telepathically, energetically, their signal connection is not based on your ability to hold faith. They hear you, they feel you, they see you in your tears, they see you in your joy, and they hear you in the asking. And in the asking, it is always given instantly because the heavens says, okay, rearrange the stage of their life. Let's redirect some things so that they can receive what they want. And the speed with which that arrives to you in the physicality depends on your faith. Depends on your ability to hold the vision and not waver. And just be. And hold a conscious knowing that it's already done. And not question. Do you think it's going to happen? How do I think it's going to happen? I've given up thinking how it's going to happen. I usually think the universe does a much better job than I can to create it. I just put a few things in motion. I get an idea, which all my friends will tell you. They hit the deck and they're like, oh, good God, she has an idea. Now we're in trouble. She's going to push it to the limit. But I expand. I think of things outside the box that I live in. And I pop up and I say, let's try this. Let's do this. Even my radio producer wants to hide sometimes. But we do. We make the move. And we throw it out there. I learned the trick in sales. You throw spaghetti on the wall, it's going to stick. So we throw it out there. And then we just say, okay, we did our part. Let's see what comes back. And then if what comes back isn't to my liking, to my desiring, to the vision that I had, I go, nah, throw it back. It's like catching a fish. I don't want that fish. Give me another one. And then another one will come in. And then finally it's there before you, and you say, yes, this is what I want. You can have all that you need and all that you desire. It's already promised. We lost it in the translation. We lost it in the manifestation of you being a little one and growing up in the household. I might be sorry for some of you. The household that you grew up in, because they didn't give you that support. They didn't tell you, hey, think big thoughts. Hey, you can manifest anything. You can have as much money in your life as you want. And regardless of where you come from and what you do, if you have the right mindset, even if the deck is stacked against you in some instances, you can still get where you want to go. Just don't pay attention to that part. Work around it. But because parents receive their instructions from their parents and their parents, perhaps some of their ability to manifest and have faith in certain situations has been worn, and understandably so, because they have, results that say otherwise than what I say. And then there are those who, they just pray. They pray and they pray for healing and they keep praying and they never waver and something miraculous happens. And that's because there's a force greater than all of us answering those prayers. There's a force greater than you and your ideas that think even bigger than you think, bigger than you could ever imagine. And those are the forces of energy that are creating with you. Always when asking, ask for that or greater. Because I promise you, in your vision of yourself and what you think you're worthy of, last week we talked about being enough. But if you're not feeling like you're worthy enough, then you may not believe that you could have something that is fabulous, but you're really happy with very good. But what if the universe knows that you are worthy of fabulous? That's why you always ask for what you desire and something even greater and better and more that is unforeseen to your human condition and experience, because you only know the life you've led. And unless you've been trained to think outside the box and live outside the box and reach for something greater, you may settle. And what happens when people settle is they become complacent. And then they have low expectations. And then they don't find joy and harmony. And then they say, oh, I guess this isn't what I want. And then they give up. And they move on to something else. And in that journey, they start to get worn down. And then they say, why bother? I never get what I want. But having faith is key to creating what you want. So if you haven't seen a mustard seed, go to your local food store. Take a look at them. It's the smallest of things. And every morning wake up and say, I have faith. The faith of a mustard seed. And my faith is stronger than my wishing and my hoping. Because my faith knows, like it knows, somewhere down deep inside of me, that all will be provided and every question will be answered. And every desire will come to me with ease and grace. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. And then when we come back, we're going to go to the phone lines. Right here on WHFS, 1010 AM, 92.1 and 103.1. And we're also hanging out on our pal station here, WWNN. We've been hanging here for a few years, 1470 AM, 95.3 and 96.9. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. And that's me, Sarah Spiritual. 888-565-1470. We're answering your questions as soon as we get back. Stay with us.
Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470. Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
We've got a feeling you'll want to listen to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. for insightful, intuitive messages on WHFS. Sarah Spiritual is a spiritual advisor and transformational coach who will assist you. Join Sarah Spiritual for a powerful hour of life's questions and Spirit's answers. I've got a feeling you'll love Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, 6 to 7 p.m. Wednesday. Got the feeling? Just call 888-565-1470.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Have you heard my voice? I am Sarah Spiritual, and we're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, answering your questions at 888-565-1470. And we were having a conversation in the Facebook. I kind of noticed a little conversation, and someone was sharing how she asked that God would assist her and answer her prayer and would create a miracle and spare the life of her daughter. So what happens then? Did God not hear the prayer? Did God ignore us when that happens? Or is there a journey and a contract of the soul of the person that God is privy to, and it's not possible for God to answer that prayer? It's a great question, and our condolences to the person on Facebook who is saying that she feels that God didn't hear her prayer. But God does hear all prayers, and it is, of course, not always known to us why some prayers just go unanswered. And sometimes it is at the detriment of ourselves and our families when we have such sorrow and suffering in an experience such as that. But God does hear all prayers, and there is always an answer. Sometimes the answer is not the outcome or the story that we would like it to be. We're going to go to the phone lines at 888-565-1470. And we're going to go to Jacqueline. Jacqueline is in California. Jacqueline, how are you tonight?
Well, hello, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing great, Jacqueline. Good to make a connection with you again tonight. Happy New Year. How can we assist you?
Well, Sarah, you know what? Spirit is just wonderful because I wanted to get in touch. I had a few questions. I am on assignment here in California, Clovis,
Yes.
California. And I was wondering, if they extend, do I need to stay right here or do I need to switch to another company?
Well, that's a great question. And when I look at this energy for you for this year is really all about financial reward for the work put in, building the finances for your career. And if you feel like the work is balanced and is of the right pay to match the work, then it is something there you can stay. If you feel that you're receiving the jobs that are not according to Spirit to your liking, then it's time to select another company so that they can assist you in finding better work. This year's the focus is all about you stepping into your financial wellness and laying a good foundation for the future. Okay. And so most likely where you are is good for now, but there's something better that can come. And I actually believe that California offers you a lot of opportunities for your type of work. Is that true?
This is true. Yes, ma'am.
Great. So see this experience through, and if the experience is not what you want in a favorable manner, then align yourself with another organization that you feel is, and you're confident is going to line you up with better opportunities that give you the pay that you deserve. All right, Jacqueline?
All right. Thank you so much, Sarah.
You're welcome,
Thank
Jacqueline.
you.
Thank you for calling us from California. Bye for now.
Of course. Bye-bye.
888-565-1470. And we're going to go back to the phone lines. I'm going to go to Pembroke Pines in Florida. I've got Denise. Denise, how are you tonight?
Good, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing well, Denise. We should be off to a great start for 2022 for our financial picture and our journey in our career and our work. What is your question for us tonight?
I'm actually, of course, career is always a question for me, but again, it's the love triangle that I always have problems with, and I know it'll come in time, but I just, I'm lonely.
Okay. So your question is the perfect example of faith. So you're feeling lonely, and in the absence of partnership, you're made more aware that you are alone. And in that feeling of aloneness, you're discontent. And then from the energy of being discontent, we're not able to attract someone who's the right partner to fulfill that energy. So what I'm seeing here for you is that you have to have the faith. You have to trust that this is the time that you are meant to be by yourself, to readjust yourself, to have a different idea of what love is, because this new person who comes in will not resemble what you've had in the past. It will be a new experience. And you have to be patient. So you have to know like you know that love is coming. And in the knowing that you have to trust that it will come in the perfect time, and that you, because you know, will recognize exactly the right person. And it won't be this, okay, well, I like this person, but I don't really like that, but that's okay because I like them. No, it's the person that you want to be with. And you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the patience comes the opportunity for you to expedite the bringing of it forward by having the faith, or the wavering and the doubt and the holding on to the energy of dissatisfaction, and then pushing it further and further out the timeline. So it's up to you. But love is coming, and we've told you that, but you're still in the energy of clearing out the old past.
Yes.
And in that process, it's hard to bring the past into the future, and that's really not what you desire to do. You're looking to create a whole new love story, different from where you've been. What's that song?
Okay.
Where do I begin to tell a story of how great a love can be? Right? It's that story you want to create.
Well, do you also see travel?
Well, one has nothing to do with the other, but yes, I see travel.
No, I know.
I see travel. I see a cruise coming. I see 2 trips coming in a short time. And perhaps in the travel, we meet someone. We've got to be open for that. And we've got to trust the experience. But love is coming.
All right.
Just be patient, my darling. Thank you so much, Denise, for your question. We greatly appreciate your calling. Bye for now. Bye.
Bye-bye.
888-565-1470. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then we're going to go right back to the phone lines all across the nation. And of course, if you're on Facebook, then leave your question with your birthday so that we can connect and give you an answer to your question. Join the Facebook feed, join the YouTube conversation. We will be right back.
I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
WHFS 1010 AM 92.1 and 103.1. And you're also hearing us on WWNN 1470 AM 95.3 and 96.9. We'll be continuing our second hour on WWNN. So my friends on WHFS, when we pop off at that 7 o'clock hour, come on, keep with us now. Go on to the iHeartRadio app and find WWNN and continue to listen, or go to Sarah's Spiritual Facebook page or the YouTube page and continue this journey. 2022, we've got a lot coming up for you. It's going to be a very interesting year. And because of that, we decided we have to get some classes in order. School's back in session with Sarah Spiritual. For now, for those of you local, everything is still online. And those of you who aren't local, then you didn't miss a beat. Join us online. You can visit sarahspiritual.com because you can register for our class. Our first class, drum roll please, on the 31st is our Vision Quest 2022. Are you ready for 2022? Do you know what you need to do to make it happen in 2022, regardless of what chaos may be going on? We're going to teach you how to navigate the shifts and the changes and not allow the disruptions to interfere with your visualization and what you truly want in 2022, and how 2022 can be exactly the best year for you. So I sure hope that you join us. The class is only 13, and it is at 7:30 p.m. Go to sarahspiritual.com and register. Not available on the night of the class? That's okay. You can catch it on the replay when we send it to you. And then our next class is how to work on your energy. We've got to energetically clear and spiritually protect. I think we all need a little bit of that. A little help from our friends. We're going to give you all the tips and all the angles to seal and protect and clear energy. And that class is 13, and that is available for you also on sarahspiritual.com. So we sure hope you visit us and take a class, learn and grow as we begin our journey for 2022. We've got some powerful teachings coming up. We're going to go back to the phone lines at 888-565-1470, and I've got Brooke, and Brooke is in Louisiana. Brooke, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well, Sarah. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderfully, Brooke. Thank you so much for your call. And, This year opens up, it closes a few chapters for you and opens up to some new beginnings. The chapters that it closes, it gives you a better idea of what you want for work and how you can strategically place yourself so that you can be on a track for 2022 into 2023. That brings you the wealth, the abundance, the happiness, the family, the joy, the love, everything that you want. And it's a process for you because at times throughout this journey for the past few years, you felt like you took a few steps forward and then you got slapped back and you're like, seriously, universe? But it's really not the universe. It's just the choices along the way just are not meeting the expectation and the visualization of what you desire. But Brooke, this year is going to offer you abundance. It's going to offer you partnership and love. It's really coming around to bring you the things you want while clearing out the old so that you can make the moves physically, spiritually, and emotionally that are necessary to create the life you want. What is your question for me tonight, Brooke?
Well, Sarah, I will say I have been having a little bit of bad luck in 2022 so far this year, like stuff being taken from me, stolen from me, and just a few bad bumps down the road. But I want to know if everything's going to be okay, and I just want things to start. I want to see a clear future my way. And I was listening to what you said earlier about trusting God and everything. I do, but like you said, it takes time. But I just feel like time's slipping away, especially with me. I'm coming up on 30 this year, So
well, I understand that. And age is just a number, and the soul is eternal, and it's an experience that is a very long, beautiful experience. So you have much time to realize all you want. And sometimes the people who have taken from us, disrupted our path, not been honest with us, all those bumps in the road that you speak of, some of those are a result of aligning ourselves with people that perhaps if we had waited and listened, we would have not chosen to be in their company so that we could put ourselves at the disadvantage. The universe isn't against us. The universe is just kind of working along our choices, and sometimes our choices are not the best. And often we learn from those things. So I want you to look at those experiences, however disappointing they may have been. I want you to look at them as clearing out old things and things that were taken. I know the universe is going to bring them back. I remember the time my son's Game Boy got stolen. He was told he lost it, but he didn't lose it. And he was quite upset. And I stood there and I said to him, I promise you, if that Game Boy was taken, it's going to come back to you some way, somehow. And we're going to know, and that's going to be our answer because I know you didn't lose it. And he was crying. He didn't want to lose his level of the Game Boy. I've gone this far, and how am I going to get back to that level? It was quite the breakdown for a little one. And I said, no, but you didn't lose it, so I know God's going to change that for you. We went to a game for a cheerleading competition, and there was a 50-50 raffle. Well, he bought a ticket. He bought several tickets. We went back and forth. And the break, I held up the tickets that he was holding. And I said to him, I want you, when they call out this number, I want you to say, that's me. And I want you to go down. And I want you to go claim your prize. And he's like, okay. Now you would say, Sarah, how would you know? Well, there we are in the little break in between. How do I know? Well, did I know or did I have faith? I had faith that in my knowing that my kid did not lose his Game Boy and that somebody took it. Whether it was a Catholic school or not made no difference, although they tried to tell me it's a Catholic school. That wouldn't happen. But I said, it's okay. I believe it's going to come. Sure enough, who do you think won? He did. That's faith. But what that also is the manifestation. And I tell people, when people take something from you unjustly, or something happens that was manipulated, yes, we feel bad. We feel betrayed. We feel disappointed. Sometimes we're mad at ourselves. But the universe always brings it back around even better. Yes, he still is upset that he lost his levels and had to start all over. But we were able to buy the Game Boy and even more games to go with it. He got over it. And whatever the loss is, I promise you, honey, you'll get over it. But at the end of the day, you're the creator of what you want. So you have to believe it's possible. You have to believe it. And you have to be still long enough to say, who in my circle, this is a clearing out time for you, Who in my circle doesn't belong? You know, what of these pieces don't fit in? We used to have that little magazine, pick the thing that doesn't belong in the picture. That's what you have to do with your life. You are now a highlight magazine. What doesn't belong in the picture? And Brooke begins to cut away and step aside. And it's just Brooke and the Creator. And maybe one or two experiences or things she enjoys. And we start all over again. And that's how the universe brings you new happenings. That's how things come together for you in a greater way. And that's how you can have the faith and hold the picture of what you want. It is all coming for you. In my opening statement to you, Brooke, which your question is a great teaching tool, in my opening statement, I said to you without your question, guess what, Brooke? This is what I see. So we're clearing out, we're letting go, we're letting God, and we're going to have faith. You've got to have faith. You're going to have some faith, Brooke. Trust it's going to happen. I see relationship. I see marriage. I see everything you want. I know, we're 30. We're worried. You got time. Don't worry. All right, Brooke, I've got to go for now. They're waving me off. I sure hope I've been of assistance to you tonight.
You totally have. Thank you so much,
And thank you
Sarah.
for listening. Bye for now.
Always.
Bye.
Bye.
888-565-1470. Write that number down. And my friends in WHFS, please don't leave us. But if you do, if you've got to, catch me next Wednesday night from 6 to 7 on your side of Florida. And for my friends at WWNN, you know we're here from 6 to 8 p.m. Visit sarahspiritual.com. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. And then when we come back, friends on Facebook, on my Sarah Spiritual page and my YouTube page, we're coming to your questions. And if you're on hold, don't go anywhere because, well, you know, we'll be right back.
There's a light that shines down upon me, and there's a light that brightens up my day. There's a light leading the way. Oh, there's a light. There's a light.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. Phone lines are open at 1-888-565-1470. That's 1-888-565-1470.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Do you believe in love? Falling from above like a raindrop falling upon the leaves. Do you believe in love? Whispering through the wind, calling the name of the one you love to come home to you. Do you believe in love that opens up your heart and love that makes that opens up your mind and makes you realize who you are. Oh, do you believe in love? And make it something that you are. Do you believe that love conquers all? Are you ready for love? Do you believe in love? Love can move a mountain. Love can heal a heart. Love can make it happen, no matter what it is. Do you believe? Do you believe in love? The kind the stories tell. Do you believe? Do you believe in when the day is through and you need someone to talk to, lay your head upon me and tell me everything. When your day is long and you've lost some battles and you're weary, you can turn to me and I will be your safe haven in this crazy world that we live in. And we lose
She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome back to the second hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions and to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. We have another hour to listen and call in. 888-565-1470. 888-565-1470. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube. And you can share the love and light.
Yes, indeed, there's a light right here on WWNN 1470 AM 95.3 and 96.9. We are answering your questions all across the nation at 888-565-1470. And we've got some other exciting classes coming up. In just a few weeks, we've got a full moon energetic healing class coming. So I sure hope you join us for a full moon healing and releasing ceremony. You got to let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. It's time to let it go, because this is going to be our howling at the moon, letting it go kind of feeling. We're going to bring in a ceremony and do some healing on our physical bodies, our emotional bodies, and our spiritual connection. And we're going to bridge that connection and use the power of the moon. Sure hope you join us. And that is going to be on the 15th of February. It is $11. Sure hope you join us for that. Visit sarahspiritual.com. As promised, we're going to visit our friends on Facebook and YouTube for their very powerful questions. And then we're going to go back to the phone lines. I've got some people who've been holding. I want to make sure I get to them. And let's see, who do we have here? We've got YouTube. We have got our friend Joe Thorne. He says, what insight does Spirit have for me regarding my career? You know, Joe, this is a powerful time for you to kind of do some increased outreach, networking, kind of form a career that brings you the momentum of your heart and your soul and your passion, and it just builds from there. And I really feel that there's several things that are out there for you in career. One is a coaching kind of aspect, mentoring, coaching. There's another part that makes me feel like we've got something to do with community and children. And then there's another part of career that makes me feel as if you've got quite a bit to say, and you've gathered some really wise thoughts over the years, Joe. And in the resolution of things connected to family and the healing process that has happened over the past years, You have so much to say. It would make for a wonderful kind of message in a book. And so my guides tell me that there's also a book opportunity for you if you choose to go down that path. So, Joe, there's some speaking, coaching, mentoring aspect that comes for you. And then I do feel you doing some type of outreach in the community. These are all there. Now, when I look at the timeline for this, I know you've been getting ready to be ready and ready for a while. But, Joe, now's the time. We got to take action. We've got to really put our foot on the path. No more pussyfooting around, no procrastination. We got to go, Joe, and make it happen. And when I step in the month of April, it's really a great time to show up and really project the version of you that is going to be the successful entrepreneur who has a message and is here to assist others and to begin to execute that in a way that is consistent. See, this is where we've been slacking a bit. We haven't been consistent in what we're doing. So my guides tell me to tell you, be consistent, show up, Joe, and then things are going to take off for you. It's going to be a great year, new kind of community feel for you. So as we make new friends and branch out, this is going to be the platform that you will build your business upon. Thanks so much, Joe, for your YouTube question. We're going to take another question from our friends on Facebook and YouTube. We got Penny Richmond. Penny Richmond, she's in Facebook land, and she says, how does Frank feel about me? And so when I look at the energy here for you, my darling, Frank is in this very transitional time of things he's got to get organized and change. And Frank is kind of a little bit in this energy of not totally showing up for you, Penny. And I feel like he's got a lot he's got to handle first before he can really authentically show up for you. You, Penny, well, you are in this energy of building this powerful foundation of love and connection. And this is what you want more than anything, Penny, for you to have a love partner. Frank is in a little bit of a, I don't know, like a little holding pattern. So we're going to say give this another month or two, and then if he's not able to kind of shift gears, that means he's a little more stuck than we want him to be, and we're going to have to just take a step back and let him come if and when he's ready, because right now I feel like he's occupied. Thank you so much, Penny Richmond, for your Facebook question. Who else do we have here on our Facebook and our YouTube channel? We got Rebecca. Rebecca's got a really good question. Torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool. Well, she's got two people on her hot plate, and my goodness, it's a hot time over there. And when I see her two choices here, she's like, I have two love interests. I'm iffy. Girl, you need to be iffy. Because what I'm seeing here is two people who I don't know are going to show up for you. The person born in March, well, they're a little wobbly right now. And then the person born in January, the way I see their energy is they're actually putting themselves on a path that they can really create something new and magnificent for themselves. So I really, truly think that they could be an interesting, I don't know, connection for you. But I think there's still too much to fix in that story. Rebecca, you don't have time to fix things. You're here to show up and be your magnificent, authentic self. And the warrior girl in you isn't going to play with these two people. So be iffy and follow your intuition, and let's see what else comes your way. No reason to be torn between these two lukewarm lovers and feel like a fool. Let's open up for new choices. Thanks, Rebecca, for your Facebook question. One more from our friends in YouTube and Facebook before we go back to the phone lines. And let's see who else we have here for us. Got another question there. Teresa. She says she's being still and she's allowing spirit to guide for the highest good. It's very difficult to do, she says. It requires trust, faith, and spirit. And you know what, Teresa, you're absolutely right. And being still is the hardest thing for us humans. But I will tell you, in your journey, this is the time for you to step into the power of the woman that you are. I am the woman who is creating and manifesting exactly the world that I desire, because I'm aligned with my guides and my angels, and I follow the flow, and the flow leads me to exactly the right place at the right time. And Teresa, as you say, I am the woman who, I am manifesting the life I want. You're stepping into your divine power, and I know you've been tested in the past, but this is going to be a time where you can kind of sit back and enjoy the energy of what is going to surround you so you can feel peace and harmony. Thanks so much, Teresa, for your comment on our Facebook page. We're going to go back to our phone lines at 888-565-1470. I've got Cindy. She is in West Palm Beach. Cindy, how are you tonight?
Hi, Sarah. How are you too?
I am doing great. Thank you so much. And how can I assist you?
Well, I guess I'm just wondering what 2022 is going to bring for me this year.
Well, it's kind of an interesting time for you because when I look at the energy, I am made aware of this powerful flow that is about kind of building a better financial picture for yourself. Have you been kind of juggling the finances and trying to figure out how to make everything work at this time? Yes?
Yes.
And they're telling me, don't worry, baby. Everything will work out all right, right? It's all coming, right? And I feel the energy coming, and I know that financially there's like a little bump up, a little reward, something that comes for you. I also see concern for family members. Yes, this is true. Have we been helping a family member at this time, helping them through a tough spot, and this is also stressing you and kind of even pulling at you financially? Yes, please?
Well, not anymore, I should say, not anymore.
Okay. Who is the person that we're asking about?
Well, my son.
Okay. And what is the question around that? Because we've been very involved in trying to do for him, correct?
Yes, and I'm trying to just, not get in his way. And I don't know, there's just a lot going on with him, and I don't know everything that is, but I don't think it's so good, and he's not saying anything to me about it.
What is his birthday?
August 18,
okay.
1972.
Okay, so as I look at this here, I feel like he is coming out of kind of like a bit of a trap. He was kind of trapped, stuck somewhere, unable to kind of pull himself out of an agreement or something that was in motion. So things weren't working for him. And I don't know if it's a agreement of a business or personal. That part is not clear. So I feel like he's got to extricate himself from something that seems a little dramatic, if that makes sense to you. And so he's working through that. And yes, he can get it done. He can make it move. It's going to take time. And no, he's not going to tell you to worry you. But also, I don't think it's been some of his best times. I feel like the past 2 years have been difficult for him. And we might not have seen his best personality shining through. So he hasn't been at his personal best at this time. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. And I don't know. I feel like there's an imbalance. I'm not a doctor, cannot diagnose, but I feel like there's some imbalance emotionally. I really feel like there's a lot of stress, perhaps even some depression, something that's there that's kind of weighing down on him on top of it all. Does this make sense to you?
Yes, and I guess not, having a negative family around him is not good either.
It's not good. It's not good. But he has to figure that out. And he's old enough to find a way out, and that's up for him, and that's part of his journey and his life lesson at this time. But he will be fine. It's going to take about 8 months for things to kind of turn around for him. So for 2022, it'll be a little bumpy for him. You just hold the space, hold the faith, hold the energy, hold the vision of how you would love to see him be in an ease and grace kind of experience, free from limitations and toxicity. Hold that vision, and that's really all you can do at this time.
Okay.
All right, but it will be a good year for you, and trust the universe is always looking out for you and going to provide. Thank you so much for your call tonight. Thank you. Bye for now. Bye.
Bye-bye.
888-565-1470. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we're going to come back to the phone lines and answer your questions. We've got calls all across the nation. I sure hope you join the conversation right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah every Wednesday night from 6 to 8 p.m. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before? I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
And we are back here live on WWNN, and we're answering your questions right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, 888-565-1470. We've got a little bit more in the show, so I sure hope you join the conversation. And we're going to go back to our phone lines, and I've got to go to Frances. She's in West Palm Beach. Frances, how are you tonight?
I'm good, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Good to make a connection with you. Seems very interesting, the times that you're going through. Feel like we have to kind of realign something for our work and career so we can kind of build up our finances and grow from this. Does this make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Are we planning on making a move in our work time, please?
I've been thinking about it.
Okay, it's the year to do it. Up, up, up we go for finances. Up, up, up we go in career movement. We kind of want to kind of hit another level, a different echelon of activity and financial. So where do you want to go in this aspect is up to you, but it's for you to step into the picture of what you want and to say to yourself, I am worthy of, I am worth, write your paycheck to yourself, and create that experience for yourself. And also, we want to take ourselves out of some of the, I don't know, the little negative circle that I feel like you've been kind of working in. Does this make sense to you? It's gotten a
Yes.
little toxic there, yes?
Yes.
But we got love on our minds, so what is the question, Francis?
You know, that's a $50 million question, because something just told me to call you.
Yeah.
I don't have an actual question. Something just told me that I needed to call you.
Yeah. So you're on track. You're on track for relationship for your work. And in relationship here, is there a particular person that you wanted to ask me about? Is there a particular birth date that you have for me here? Because I feel like when I look at the energy that has been in relationship, especially the past 6 years, and I take us back, I have to actually go back to about 2015. 15 seems to have been a difficult time for you, Francis. Yes, you're going through a transition at that time?
Yes.
Okay. And I feel like we kind of created a clearing then, and then we kind of put ourselves on this path. And I feel like love is just not connecting the way you would like it to. Does this make sense to you?
Yes.
And I also feel that it's tied to not just things having to do in 2015, but I have to actually go back, and I have to go back to early childhood beliefs around your ability to be worthy of love, attract love, and count on somebody. You don't feel like you can count on anybody. Does this make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
And you also found yourself feeling trapped in other relationships, only to find out that you were doing everything, and then you were trapped, and then they were acting like it was all your fault. This is true?
That is correct.
Okay. So when I take you back in past, and I go back to the energy of your 8 and 9-year-old self, who was very critical to you at that time, please, Francis?
My grandmother.
And she didn't make you feel like you fit in, that you were part of the crew and the family, and she was harsh with you and kind of a little, the word I get is belligerent, right? A little degrading, yes?
My mother and my father both were like that.
Okay. Your mother and your father both were like that. And Grandma didn't make you feel loved at this time as well, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So we are attracting people who one way or another end up resembling our mother, our father, and even at times our grandmother. Have we noticed this, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So why were you prompted to call? You were prompted to call because Frances has some healing to do. You see, there's a part of Frances that as much as she wants a relationship and wants to count on someone, she's afraid to let somebody in because they always disappoint her. So as much as you say you want to all these things in your life, your better career, your better living, there's a part of you that doesn't feel like you're worthy of all that you see. And you look out at other people and it seems like it's so easy for them. But why isn't it easy for Frances? Because there are pieces of Frances trapped in her memories in her past. And when I think of the rigidity, is the word they give me, that the father and mother created for you, and you were almost darned if you did, darned if you didn't, you were wrong for almost everything you did, I feel like you went into your room, into your closet, and you had to kind of sit there and regroup because you really went through quite a bit. Is this also true?
Yes, that is true.
You see, God's calling. So we need to parent you. We need to talk to your little girl. And if you're open, let's take a look at her for a moment right now. Can we do that?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we can.
Okay. So where did you go when you were a little girl to hide? When you felt like nobody was really acknowledging you and everything you did was just the wrong thing. Where did you go?
I really just, from what I can remember, is I just would go in my room and just close the door. I would isolate myself.
That was the only way you felt really safe, right? You kind of self-soothed yourself?
Mm-hmm.
So, Frances, would you sit on your bed in your room?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to do a little something. So work with me. Kind of close your eyes. I want you to see yourself standing outside your bedroom door. And I want you to just open the door. I want you to look in and tell me if you see your 8-year-old self sitting on the bed. Can you see her?
I'm having a hard time.
Because she's tucked away far. Take a step in the room. See yourself standing there. Tell me if you can still see her, if you can see her now.
Yeah. I see me curled up.
So I want you to just say out loud, Francis, can I come in? It's okay.
Francis, can I come in?
I've come to tell you I love you.
I've come to tell you I love you.
You did nothing wrong.
You did nothing wrong.
You're such a good little girl.
You're such a good little girl.
Mom and Dad aren't happy in their life.
Mom and Dad are not happy in their life.
But it's not because of you.
But it's not because of you.
You're funny. You're kind. You're intelligent. You can do anything.
You're funny, you're kind, you're intelligent, and you can do anything.
And you're so beautiful.
And you're so beautiful.
I know the adults in this house don't tell you all of this enough.
No, they don't.
So tell her, it's okay. They don't tell you this, but it's true. Tell her it's true. We want her to know that she's worthy of everything she wants. She doesn't have to feel trapped anymore. You want her to know that, right, Francis?
Mm-hmm.
So tell her. The adults aren't doing right by you.
The adults are not doing right by you.
And it's not your fault.
And it's not your fault.
Every little girl makes mistakes.
Every little girl makes mistakes.
But they want you to be just perfect so they don't have to be bothered.
They want you to be just perfect so they don't have to be bothered.
It's their own experience and how they're living.
It's their own experience and how they're living.
Tell her I'm sorry you feel afraid.
I'm sorry you feel afraid.
I would love if you come with me.
I would love if you come with me.
You don't have to stay trapped here anymore.
You don't have to stay trapped here anymore.
Mom and Dad can figure it out for themselves.
Mom and Dad can figure it out for themselves.
You're not responsible for them.
You're not responsible for them.
I would love the opportunity to take care of you and to keep you safe.
I would love the opportunity to take care of you and keep you safe.
Would you like to come with me?
Would you like to come with me?
I'm building a whole new life.
I'm building a whole new life.
I'm designing my dreams.
I'm designing my dream.
And I had no idea you were trapped here.
I had no idea you were trapped here.
But I would love if you would come with me and create a new life for ourselves.
I would love if you come with me and make a new life for ourselves.
Because you are worthy.
Because you are worthy.
You are good enough.
You are good enough.
And you deserve people to be kind and loving.
And you deserve people to be kind and loving.
Put your hand out. Will she come with you? Tell her it's okay.
It's okay.
I'll protect you.
I'll protect you.
How does she look?
Scared.
See if she can come with you. Tell her we have to go now.
We have to go now.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Will she take your hand now?
Slowly. Resistant.
It's okay.
But yeah.
Take her through the bedroom door. Lead her out of the hallway. And then take her towards the front door. And when you get to the front door, let me know when you get there.
We're there.
Tell her it's okay.
It's okay.
It's time for our new life.
It's time for our new life.
We deserve what we want. It's okay. We deserve what we want.
You deserve what we want.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Open the door. And take her through the door. And as you take her through the door, just slam it shut. I don't care if the whole house shakes. And fade off in the distance with her. You see, Francis, there are pieces of you from all the times people told you you weren't good enough or things you didn't deserve something. They unjustly accused you, badgered you, bullied you. All of these aspects of experiences just kind of built up. And so now as you look at your life and you want to make the changes because you're feeling trapped inside, you just don't know how you can make the change. You don't know where to start. And you don't know how to heal the wounds. Sure, you could say that was then and this is now. But there are pieces of you trapped in the past. And those pieces are waiting for you to come back and pick them up. So that everything that you want, relationships you have, connections with people, they can be better, or you can decide that they're not giving you what you want and you don't have to hang on to them and you don't have to prove to anybody that you're good enough for them. No, quite the contrary. This is some work to do. I do have a product session on the website called Soul Integration. We gave you just the very quick snippet of what we do there because that's what's holding you back from making the leap and the jump in the career and, coming out of the cycle that you're in and from really attracting the energy for relationship qualities that will make you happy. And yes, life has created some stagnation and some things are not to your liking and they will need to be changed. But we need the courage, the strength, and we need to know that we are safe and that you can do this. I hope this has given you some insight, perhaps some resolution to some things at this time? Probably got a lot more than you bargained for when you first called.
I really did. Thank you.
You're welcome. But you see, Spirit knows where we need to heal. Take a look at that type of session, soul integration, and when it's good for you, let's see if we can do it in peace and quiet without a house full of people running amok. And let's really get the best parts of your little girl home with you so you can parent her, you can love her, and together you can build the life you want. Been a pleasure talking to you. I hope I've been of service to you tonight.
You definitely have, Sarah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, honey. God bless you. Bye for now.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
888-565-1470. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we got to go to the phone lines. I sure can't wait to talk to you, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before? I've been standing in the room.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
And we are back here live on WWNN, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and we are answering your questions all across the nation. 888-565-1470. And I'm going to go to Miami. I've got Marie on the line. Marie, how are you tonight?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well,
Hello?
thank you. Yes, and what is your question?
I was just calling to see, do you see my finances getting any better? because I've been really going through a financial, problems lately, and I'm just hoping and praying that things will get a lot better for me.
And were we in between some work or something at this time, please?
Well, I was the only one working at the time.
Okay.
My husband was unemployed, but now he's working.
Okay.
And I was just, stuck doing everything on my own. And it's just been a strain on me. And just,
I know.
had to cut back on a lot of things that I like to do. And, yeah,
And
I just wasn't at a good place.
what is his birthday, please?
His birthday is 12/13/83.
Okay. So this year brings for him a lot more balance, which will make it easier for you. He's been out of balance, out of sorts, caused a little rift in the relationship as well, too. We weren't on the same page for a while, yes?
Yep.
And that was making it difficult. So you were overwhelmed on all fronts, family front, work fronts. Everything was caving in around you. And so what I look at here is this is really a good year for you to kind of connect. And even though you were the only person working at the time, you've learned a lot and you're ready to grow in work. And so now's the time for you to network and kind of see, where can I go next? Not to stay still and stagnant, but this is the time now that he's working for you to kind of position yourself to make a move, to make a change, to make a difference in what you want to create for yourself. And what I see coming for you is increase, but it may come from a different role. Are we thinking of applying for a different job?
Yes, I've been, trying to find something different that pays a lot more. Because I'm not really happy where I'm at, but it pays me really good.
Right. And so we stay until we find something that brings us the harmony, the joy, and the financial reward that we're looking for. And that's something that will come this year through networking, through some research. It's going to take a few months. I don't really see you making any moves until probably after May. So we're going to hold still for now. And then when June comes into play, that's when it's time to make your move. And you'll look in the meantime. Something might pop up, maybe to your liking. But I really feel the energy will be supportive for you in the month of June. I feel like things will be a little more settled in the household. And you'll be able to focus on you for finally just a minute, because it's been a rough ride. And I do see increase for you. We will end the year on a positive note. And I also see that your partner, the job that he has is okay. I don't really feel like it's where he really wants to be either, but it's a good stepping stone for him. And from there, he can position himself to get another job as well.
Okay. Does that mean our relationship will get a little better? Because it's been a little rocky at times, too. It's like unbalanced. And I'm a Libra. I like things to be balanced out.
You like things balanced, and he's out of balance, and he's all over the place.
Yeah.
And he wants to, he likes to hustle. He wants to make it happen, but you got to work to make it happen. And he wasn't really finding the right connections. And I actually feel that when his last position ended, it was rather abruptly, and it really was something that wasn't really a fair shake in the story. So it makes me feel like that bruised his ego, the closing of his last job. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
And so he was kind of lost in his feelings there for a while.
Yes.
And it took time for him to rebuild, and that also impacted the relationship. Relationship 2 is going to need to take some time to rebuild. A lot of things have been said, a lot was done in this time that was a little hurtful. And so we need to kind of heal that. But I believe that we can heal from this and move forward. It is there for you. There is love there. It's just right now we're not too happy with each other at the moment. But that too will pass, all right? It is a feeling. It is, and love in a certain way is a choice. We choose to engage in love. We choose to participate. We choose to forgive. We choose to communicate and work through our obstacles. And that's what the two of you are committed to do. You've been together for quite a while. Is that also true?
Yes. 21 years.
Okay, so we're not going to throw the old dog in just yet, right?
Okay.
We'll keep
one
him for a
more
while.
thing.
Yes,
Do you
honey.
see me taking any trips this year? Because I think I need one or two.
Well, possibly in the month of August, there's time for a trip. But right now, we've got to get ourselves on our feet and the finances are not quite supporting that. We need to kind of get ourselves back on track. Feels like you're a little behind, and we've got to play some catch up in the meantime.
Okay, no problem.
All right, Marie. Thank you so much for listening to the show and calling. We greatly appreciate you. Bye for now.
All right, thank you, Sarah.
All right,
Bye.
bye. And we're going to go back to our phone lines at 888-565-1470. I've got, I think I'm saying this right, Inglis, and Inglis is in St. Petersburg.
Yes.
Ah, Inglis, how are you? Yes, I realize that. How are you tonight?
I'm doing okay. I'm going through a loss of my partner, and at a young age, he died of alcoholism, and at the age of 34, and I just feel a sudden shock and change in my life, and trying to figure out how to move forward from here.
Yes, obviously so, and sorry for the loss, and I know that it came as a shock, and you had your whole future ahead, and there was quite the plans that was here before you. What was her birthday, please?
It would be 8/14/1987.
And she just recently passed, yes?
She did. She passed on the 21st.
Yeah. A little too soon for me to make it a connection to her, so for that part, I do hope that you connect with us again in the future so that we can allow her to settle in, but I see here, where do you begin? Well, it's going to take some time, and I see the healing process. I really feel like the both of you are on the precipice of some big plans together. Is this true, please?
We were trying to figure out the next step. We were just moving back into our house. It had a 11-month renovation, and our whole future was ahead of us.
Yeah, and all the plans that you had made there. And at this moment in time, time will be your healer, and she will be with you in spirit. But for whatever reason, her soul had to leave the planet, and that's really hard to understand at this moment. But I do know that for you here, there is great comfort that will come in knowing that she is at peace. And when she settles in a bit more, we'll be able to give you evidence of that, and that will bring you great comfort. It makes me feel, though, that you've had a sense of her in these past few days, a little close to you, yes? Kind of a sense of her presence around you, please?
Yes, very much.
Very much. And I also feel that that will continue to intensify as she delivers you messages of love and connection for you. The difficulty is that she was having difficulty loving herself during her time of loving you. So that was the conflict within. But this journey is something that is not going to give you all the comfort that you need to bring her back, but it will give you the comfort of understanding. And you will find that there will be a sense of peace in knowing all of this as it continues to move forward and time begins to be your healer. It is a contract that she had. Her soul was not meant to be on this planet for a long time, and that's not something that we're always privy to. We don't have that sense. And she was off alcohol for a period of time. Is that also true?
She was off of alcohol
for about 5 months.
Yeah, right around there.
Yeah, I get the sense of about 5 months she was off, and then the connecting back in is what sent her over the edge. But know that the angels and the guides will assist you at this time through this very difficult time. Is there a specific question I can answer for you at this point?
I don't know when the next, how long to wait to really remember her, and when I should start moving on with my own life and continuing to live as a normal human being.
This is a year that will introduce you into new connections and some sense of a new community. Perhaps you will connect with other people who have been through things similar to yourself in some type of grief group or counseling. This often brings great comfort in knowing that. And when I move you through the year, really feel that by the end of the summer, you'll be on a path of ready to kind of put back a different version of your life, different from how you imagined it would be, but you'll have a better insight. It's going to take a few months. And in this time, honor her for who she is and all the things that you shared together that are unique to you. And I promise there'll be a part of you that stays in love with her no matter what. And she will be with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How did you hear about the show?
Through a mutual friend.
Who's on the line from Trinidad?
Well, thank you so much from Trinidad. Thank you so much. And
Of course.
God bless you both. And Inglis, please stay in touch with us. And we hope to bridge a gap between the two of you, your loved one, as she settles in on the other side. And we'll be able to give you some evidence and messages from her so that you truly know that she is at peace. And our condolences on this very horrific loss at this time. God bless you.
Thank you so much for
You're
your words
welcome.
and your time.
You're welcome.
Thank
Bye
you,
for
Sarah.
now. You're welcome, honey. Bye for now. 888-565-1470. Well, all the way from Trinidad, and our prayers go out to Inglis. It's very difficult to lose someone, especially so unexpectedly. And we know that many of us in these past 3 years have lost so many close to us, and it is something that is undescribable as we go through the loss and the suffering. But we do find a sense of peace and do know that our loved ones are with us on the other side. Even if we can't see them or feel them, we've got to get used to the fact that they're gone, and that's the hard part. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. I sure hope that you meet us on sarahspiritual.com and register for our classes coming up. Let's get your 2022 vision in play. We've got a feeling it can be a great year for you. Come join my class. It's only 13. I sincerely hope you are a part of this experience on our wonderful 2020 vision. It is Monday night at 7:30. And go to sarahspiritual.com if you'd like to learn more about my sessions, the soul integration session that was similar to what I did with our lovely participant on the show tonight. If you'd like to have your own personal session, perhaps bridge a connection to your loved one, or just see what life's got in store for you, then let's connect personally at sarahspiritual.com. God bless you. I appreciate you all. 621 live shows. You go. So proud of all of you for participating and sharing the light and sharing the love. Thanks to our friends on our Facebook page. Good night, everyone. God bless you. And I am Sarah Spiritual.
There's a light leading the way.
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answers your most important questions as you navigate through life. Listen and call in next week and let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at sarahspiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and follow her on Instagram. Tune in every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. with more from Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.